Neil, a wonderful season last season and getting promoted. What a job as captain you did.
Yeah, it wasn't partly my job, but the team. I think we all worked well together. I think at times in the season, everyone put in obviously match-winning performances and dug deep in the tough situations to get us where we are now. And I think we worked extra hard last winter, so to get us there. And I think this winter we've worked just as hard, if not harder.
It's a very tightly knit group of players you've got as well, isn't it?
It is. I must have. We've worked hard on that. Myself and Angus Fraser and Richard Scott, Richard Johnson have really tried to get that in the team. I believe it's very important to a winning and successful team, and we've got that quite early on, which we're fortunate. And I think guys just need to realise that. And it's a long season over here in England, and I think that the longer we can stick together through that, the more successful and the better we will do.
The last few seasons, although it didn't happen last year, a number of sides who've come up, Essex and Kent did it, then they went back down again. How difficult is it going to be for you to buck that trend?
We can only tell when we get there. I think we've got to focus on what we do best. We've worked really hard. We've got a lot of confidence from last season taking into this season. But it's definitely going to be very hard for us. But I don't want to just compete in this first division. I want us to do well in it. I think we've got the good players, and we've got a young team that's a lot more experienced now too. I think that extra year of playing and actually winning in the league does give you a lot more experience, as we are a young team mixed with some really good experienced players as Chris Rogers and Corey Collymore. But no, we're well aware it's going to be a very tough year for us, but a good one.
Tough as well. Not only are you playing against stronger sides with perhaps bigger squads, but you've got a different cricket ball to use with the Duke ball now. And different grounds or preparation of grounds as well. How much does that play into your mind?
It does. I think not taking anything away from our bowlers from last year. I think they bowled exceptionally well. Mertz and Corey and whoever else played. I think the balls definitely did do a lot more. The wickets were probably a bit greener, but they're good bowlers. I know the wickets probably won't do as much and the balls won't do as much this year, but I think we're good enough bowlers to adapt to that. And some wickets might turn a bit more too, so it's going to be hard work, but I think we've got the players that can definitely adapt to that as quickly as possible and get us off to a good start.
Harder work for the bowlers, perhaps slightly easier for the batsmen then?
I would like to think that. No, I think it's first division. I think when you say easier, there are a lot more quick bowlers, I think, around. Bowlers that hit the spot more times than not. So I think as a batsman, I think where it will be easier is that you actually know exactly where the bowlers are going to bowl, because they don't miss their spot very much, but runs don't come by that easily sometimes, and you're going to have to work extra hard. But the bowlers, I think they know what they're in for. I think you've got likes of Trescothick, and that's still to bowl to, and it's not going to be easy, but we definitely will hopefully face the challenge and do it well.
Middlesex and your London neighbours Surrey coming up last season, making it an even stronger First Division perhaps this year. Do you think, as a county captain, that English cricket is becoming kind of two-tiered now in that you've got your bigger clubs in the First Division, your smaller ones in the Second?
Yeah, I do. I must admit, I know we haven't played in First Division yet. I've played a few games at Kent when I was there in First Division. I don't think there's a big gap. I think it's good to have the big clubs, I see the big name clubs in the First Division. But I'll be honest, I think it's whoever plays well and works hardest does get there. So I don't want to talk too much on if there's two tiers or anything, but I would like to say that guys that are in the First Division deserve their places and have worked hard to get to where they are.
Slightly different season for Middlesex this year in that you've got archery in the Olympics here at Lords taking a fair bit of the summer up. So you have a lot of home games to start with before you're on the road. That will make it slightly different.
Yeah, it will. I think it's a challenge though. Something that we've probably been used to throughout our careers here at Middlesex. Being a young team, everything's been a challenge for us just because we're new to everything. And another things this year don't change. I think having archery on the field during the middle of our cricket season is a bit different, but yeah, something that we can't. It's not in control of our hands, and obviously wherever we're playing, we've got to try our best and do as well as we can.
But with these early home games at Lords, it's vital that you get off to a good start.
It is. I think Lords is just a hard place to play sometimes, although it's a home game. I think for other teams coming here, teams tend to step their game up too, because a lot of them don't get the chance to play at Lords, as fortunate as we are. Obviously it's our home ground, but yeah, although it's our home ground, it can be a lot harder for us too, because teams do come here looking to prove themselves at Lords and say that they've taken 5 wickets or scored 100 at Lords, so we know what we're in for, and but it's always a nice place to play it, and I couldn't ask for a better place to play.
while all cricketers, as you say, love to come to Lords and play, for the Middlesex players it's slightly different. You have to take your kit home every night, don't you? You can't leave it in the dressing room. You don't have your own dressing room facilities as such.
No, we've got lockers which we get for a bit of the time. Unfortunately, Darwin Milan's taken about 3 or 4 of them, so there's not that many left for the other players. But no, it's as much of a home as it can be. We're fortunate that we can actually use this ground and call it our home ground. So whether we have to take our bags back or not, I think we're very fortunate just to be playing here. But yeah, hopefully we would just like to have a base hopefully soon, which we will, and obviously still be calling this our home ground. But no, it's definitely no better place to play.
You brought in Joe Denley from Kent, a good old teammate and mate of yours.
Yeah, he is. He's obviously, the way I've left it up to everyone else. I could tell them what I think of him as a cricketer and as a bloke. And yeah, they've made that decision on their own, and yeah, he's a very good friend of mine, so it's good for me, and I know what he'll bring to the dressing room as a person. He's a good character, an extremely talented cricketer that's, I think, still got a lot to prove to English cricket, just in the fact that he shows what he can do in the county scene. I think he wants to be back in the England team, and I think a move like this for him is an extremely good one, and hopefully it can get him back to where he should be.
Where are Middlesex going to finish in the county championship this season?
I just want to make sure that everyone's fit at the start. I don't want to say too much where we're going to finish, but I don't want to just be competing. I want to be at the top, and that's where I want to look at it. I'm not going to promise anything saying we will be at the top, but that's where I'd like to be.